Hello darlings, for today's video I'm transforming myself into Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus. To start, I'm spreading some Vaseline into my hairline to protect my hair from the liquid latex I'll be using. I'm also putting on a wig cap to keep any flyaway hairs out of the way. To protect my brow hairs from the liquid latex, I'm covering them with the Elmer's washable glue. I'm brushing them upwards with a spoolie just to flatten them a little and make sure that every single hair is completely covered in glue so I don't rip out any hairs when I remove the liquid latex. I'm setting my brows with powder, brushing away any excess powder, and then I'm getting started with the liquid latex. You can use any brand, but this particular one is by Mehron. Liquid latex is one of the most versatile special effects products on the market. Today, we'll be creating 3D effects like wounds by mixing the latex with materials like cotton and tissue paper, while also directly applying it to the skin to create textured effects like aged skin. I'm beginning by applying the liquid latex directly to the skin, starting with the nose. You can use your fingers, but it does get sticky, so I recommend using a sponge, but fair warning, the sponge will be completely ruined afterwards. I'm unraveling a cotton ball and starting to create the structure of Billy's face. I'm placing the pieces of the cotton ball along the bridge of the nose and extending it down the sides of the nostrils. This gives a lot of volume to the face. Now I'm covering that in liquid latex, creating another layer of glue for myself and adhering a piece of tissue to the area, ripping apart any excess bits. This helps to smooth the cotton. I'm covering that in liquid latex and then I'm moving on to a different area of the face. I'm only working in small sections at a time, that way my liquid latex doesn't dry before I get to the next step. This time I'm stamping the liquid latex onto the brows and swooping it around the eye socket. I'm placing a long piece of cotton here to make that area protrude, and then I'm entirely covering that in liquid latex. Now, while it's still wet, I'm pulling some pieces of the cotton at the bottom edge downwards using tweezers to create the striations on Billy's face. Then I'm rolling up tiny pieces of cotton and creating more of those lines going down the face. I'm applying another layer of liquid latex and then I'm pressing a tissue onto that area. Tissues typically have a few layers, so I'm pulling apart the layers and literally only using one of them. After ripping off the excess tissue, I'm securing that with more liquid latex and moving onto the chin. I don't need to create a raised effect in this area, so I'm going straight in with the tissue to create some texture. I'm just starting with a few little pieces at first, then I'm adding a large piece to cover the whole bottom half of the face. Then I'm going in with even more rolled up pieces of tissue to kind of connect the texture so that the middle part of the face matches the bottom part. I'm using liquid latex in between each step to make sure everything sticks and blends together. After covering the entire bottom half of my face with tissue, I'm starting on the forehead. I have a really small forehead and I'll be wearing a wig, so this area will be really quick. Once again, I'm putting down a layer of liquid latex using my sponge, applying a piece of tissue, adding another layer of liquid latex, a few more horizontal strings of tissue to create some deep wrinkles, and securing all that in place with the liquid latex. Now I'm shaping a few pieces of tissue into tiny little circles along the mouth to mark where I'm going to put the twine and add the necessary depth needed for the sewn mouth look. There are 10 circles in total, 5 at the top of the lip and 5 at the bottom of the lip. Now that the liquid latex is dry, we're adding some dimension with water-activated paint from the Mehron Paradise AQ Basic palette. At this point, the liquid latex is no longer white, but a yellow color. This is really going to help with the overall skin tone of Billy because he's a zombie and zombies have that really gross decayed yellow color to them. I'm using the black paint to add shadow in any receding areas like in between the lines of cotton going down the cheeks and in the middle of the circles of tissue around the mouth. The water-activated paint is super easy to work with. You just spray a little bit of water into the pan and dip your brush in. I'm using a small detail brush to add the black. Now it's time to work on the overall color of Billy. I'm mixing black, white, yellow, green, and brown until I have what I think best represents his shade. The yellow from the liquid latex is a great base, so I'm only mixing a small amount of each color. I'm using a foundation brush to spread this all over the face, adding more and more until it looks dirty and decomposed. Next, I'm mixing a little bit of the white and yellow paint and using it to highlight where we place the cotton, like around the eye socket, making those areas look more raised and lifted. Now I'm going back with the black and shading even more, creating additional depth and dimension to the overall look. I'm also messily yet strategically adding this to the eyes so that the black enhances the shallowness of the area around the eyes without looking too flat. After that, I'm applying the WetnWild Fantasy Makers Multi-Stick in the shade black to my bottom and top waterlines and smudging it around. Now I'm creating the sewn mouth effect. I've painted a few pieces of twine black and I'm gluing them onto the black holes around the mouth using liquid latex. The pieces are about an inch long and I'm placing them across the lips in the same manner of Billy's with an X, 2 straight pieces, and a piece at the end that has a little knot at the top. Finally, to get into character, I'm putting on a ruffled blouse, black jacket, and black wig. I'm touzling the wig around for a messy effect, and that completes this Billy Butcherson look. Let me know if you've seen Hocus Pocus 2 in the comments below, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.